When you were a child, didn't you just love it when you asked a parent why you were required to do some task or some deed that they asked you to do? And their response would be, because I said so. That's why. I just love that. This is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day 5, Yitro. We are the final day of this Torah portion. Extremely significant to us because within it we find the giving of what has been traditionally called the Ten Commandments. When we read chapter 20 of Exodus or Shemot, in verse 1, it says, "And Elohim spoke all these words, saying," and let's remember, he's saying them to Moshe, but he is speaking them as in the sound of an ever-increasing volume of a shofar. The shofar is the discerned word of Yah being sounded. And then Moshe, as he's hearing this, the company of Israel is also hearing it simultaneously. And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, "I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery." So again, we are traditionally calling these the 10 words. If you go over to chapter 34, however, in verse, 28, it says that concerning Moshe, he was there with Yahweh 40 days, 40 nights, did not eat bread, he did not drink water, and he wrote on the tablets of the words of the covenant, which is these same words, and it says the 10, not commandments, the 10 words. The phrase there is Eseret HaDevarim. And again, it is not commandments, it's words, the 10 words. Theological systems, we'll put it that way, we'll use that terminology. Theological systems, again, traditionally have dropped down to verse number 3 and started counting there. "You have no other mighty ones against my face." The Torah scholars, I believe, have it more correct, and they say that the first commandment is actually verse 2, or the first word, again, would be the better way to say it. The first word is verse 2, which is not so much a command that you follow, but a statement that you acknowledge that says, "I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim and out of the house of slavery." Now, Yah did not say here, "I am Yahweh, your Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, of Yitzhak, and Yaakov," or he did not say, "I am the Elohim of all creation," but rather he is referencing himself by his latest, greatest revelation of himself. "I'm the one who brought you out of slavery. I'm the slave-breaking Elohim. I am your deliverer. I'm the one who appointed Moshe to come and do this work. I'm the one who rolled back the sea. I'm the one who brought you across on dry ground, and I'm the one who slew Pharaoh and his armies. So it is I. You need to know who I am." So everything that is following then from we are to not have a mask put on Yah's face of our own preference and preferential version of him. He will not have no other Elohim, no other identities of God's placed on him. It's not just that we trot our idols out in front of him and bow down before them in his face, but it's also that we don't re-identify him as some of the pantheon of gods that the pagans worship. Neither do we remask him because we don't like the reality version of him. We want our preferential version. We want to just say he's love and leave it at that. Well, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Why? Because we have an authentic relationship based on our realization of his authentic identity. Yah is who he is. He is our deliverer. He delivered his people Israel all the way back in chapter number 2. He says he remembered. He remembered what? He remembered the covenant. And in chapter 3, he told Moshe, I am coming through you to deliver them because of my covenant promise to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. So he is the covenant-keeping El, the mighty Elohim of Israel. And then based on that, we know, as he continues, not only are you not to have a re-identifying in my face, but don't make carved images. That's a simultaneous or singular command together. Then we began to count together with the theologians, if you will. And so there is this understanding of the question, why? Why do I need to keep these commands? Well, some of them just to stay out of jail. You shall not steal, you shall not murder, you shall not bear false witness, especially in a court of law. That's perjury. So there is this understanding that these commands have become codified in national law in most countries. It is foundational for us. These words tell us how to conduct a relationship with our Heavenly Father, and then also how to conduct a relationship with one another based on truth, based on integrity, based on uprightness, based on not taking someone's spouse that doesn't belong to us, etc. Why? Why can't we just live the way we want to live? Why do we need to complicate life? Why can't it just be every man do what he wants to do? Why can't there just not be any laws and just leave us alone and let us be human beings and live our lives? Well, if you want anarchy, if you want chaos, that's what you're going to have. The idealistic version of that is utopia and hedonism, which says, do whatever you want, and that's the whole of the law. Well, the problem with that is the way I want to live my life will interfere with the way you want to live your life. And then who's right? Whose rights get to be followed? Here, Yah says, this is my way. And we may say, well, along with the people of the earth, we just don't want to be boxed in, and let's get rid of the laws and let's just live a simple life. Why can't we all just get along? Because our grandmother in the garden took of that which Yah said don't take, and her husband ate with her. And because man did not trust what Yah gave to them to be sufficient and to be all that they would ever need, and they explored out on their own, and they were deceived, and mankind is still deceived. But when we hear these words, and thankfully they're being reintroduced into our society, thankfully there are those who are saying, let's put the plaques back up, let's put the monuments back up, let's put them back into our schools, let's display them in our courts of law again, let's make a public display of them again. Will that change those who reject them's behavior? No. But it says something to our society that there is a foundation. There is a common understanding that these are good words. In all honesty, I make my living by words. Some people use tools and hammers and nails and turn wrenches on a vehicle, etc. I make a living by words. Words are important, however. They're building blocks. They're life-changing opportunities. Words carry power. Words carry influence. Words shape perspectives and help people to open their eyes and see what needs to be seen. I encourage you, take a look again at this book and see these words and read them aloud and let them get into your spirit one more time and be a walking plaque of their display in public in the eyes of those who will see you. Shabbat Shalom to all. The favor, the blessing, the presence of the glorious King be with you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your encouraging comments. And we'll see you again next week. To then, Shabbat Shalom.